One, two, class. One, two, class.
Some deer that live by the roads and they know that trafficking, especially in that little area. I mean, he just sensed it. I mean, they're smarter than you think. Obviously, we've all been screwed by big bucks. I mean, I'm sick of it.
Well, even think, like you said earlier, talking about the noise.
I'm sick of it too.
You start to slow down. Tires on gravel starting to slow down sound different than if you were cruising by consistently.
It's
they
not
know
just
all that.
visual; it's sound too. We had a situation not that long ago. We're going to get back to your story. You got to wrap.
No.
You got to get that going. But we had a situation. We had a big buck, 40 yards, laying. I don't know what the hell this deer was doing. It was late season. He had no doe. Big mature bastard.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm guessing probably 6-7-year-old plus deer.
Right.
Old. I don't know what the hell he was doing. Bedded there.
He was tired.
40, 50 yards off the road, and I was like. Me and Matty Z, we had a little deer hauler on the back of the burb. We jumped on the back of the burb a mile and a half out, rode it, and I told Tanner, who was running the wheel, I said, we were about a half mile where they were going to drop us, and I knew if we stopped that vehicle at a half mile, he'd freak out. We needed him to cross the road. We couldn't hunt that. It's private.
Okay.
So I was like, just keep your foot steady on that throttle. Don't let that engine noise change.
Yeah.
Exactly what you were just saying. It's not just visual. It's also that sound.
Right. Well, I mean, you listen to cars. I mean, if you ever hunt sitting in a stand or whatever near a gravel road, you can hear, like I always listen. It's like, oh, here comes a car, and then you hear it, and you hear the sound. Well, if it stops, you're like, you can tell. And, those deer live there, yeah. So.
Well, and them deer probably know exactly, too. Like, if that vehicle passes every day, they know what vehicle that is, too.
I bet you they do to a point.
They
like if your minivan's coming down the gravel road, they're like, that's a new vehicle.
No,
I've heard that
that's
one
a
before.
minivan.
We might be overthinking it, but I'm telling you, they do. I mean,
I'm going to tell you right now, if you're hunting the plain states,
they know.
And I ain't done it yet, but you want a white vehicle because most of the vehicles, the ranchers and stuff. The guys that run around, they do
some
white
magnets on the side that say electrical company or something.
Right,
Those deer,
certified contractor.
Deer totally know those vehicles. Like, that guy I can deal with.
They just got a big old buck and
put a couple rock cones out.
There's old Carl going to work.
Waving. So you put this game plan together.
Yeah. Well, we're talking about vehicles. I want to tell you, it was pretty funny, man. I was sitting there when I was in position to try to kill that deer later on, but it was funny. These vehicles kept like going up there, and I'm like, a couple of them stopped, and I'm like stressed out. I'm like, they see him. They see him. Oh my God! And they drive off. Well, there was a tree blocking the stop sign. They were stopping at the stop sign. I was like, and I was like, why are they?
It's in the video.
I told Matt. I said, I don't know why they're stopping. They're seeing him, and then I'm like, he's like, there's a stop sign there. Oh my God! I looked to the left. There's a stop sign. So that's funny.
And that's when you're like, well, there's been like 100 vehicles come up this road today. None of them stopped.
None of them seen him. We seen hunters camoed up, looking. It's like, oh my God, this is stressing me out. They see him, they're going to stop, look, blow him out, and it's over, right?
But you did the right thing. You set up in a way that if that happened, you felt like
if he would jump, he would go towards
come into that little slither spot.
But here's the thing with that too is I think it takes someone with experience to see a situation like that and be so, I guess, clear-headed about how to get around it just in case this happened, because an inexperienced hunter would do something too pushy, and because you see social media, it's like, got to get aggressive and do the work, and then bump it out and ruin it before you even put yourself in to get an opportunity.
Passive aggressive.
Well, you guys' style is just so different from what other people are doing. Like, typically, we're talking about a lot of in-timber tactics, where a lot of this is like road-based. I mean, the style that you guys have is just so unique. Totally different than what other people are doing. It's cool.
Right.
I mean, I'm learning all this, like, just listening to this for the first time. There's a lot to take in.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Very cool.
And we're all over the place. It's fun, but it's there's so much, and the human pressure on whitetails is such an interesting topic. But it's crazy because everybody talks about it. Podcasts talk about it. Shows talk about it. You see it in all this. But then you got people that consume all this content and go out and ignore it.
Yep.
I feel that way anyway.
Right,
it's like, dude, we just did a whole podcast with like Mark Jury about human pressure, and everybody just is like, "Oh yeah, it'll be fine."
Guess we'll just
the number
roll
one
the
thing
four-wheeler in and check.
They throw it out the window and just
check cards on the four-wheeler.
Yeah, checking cards on the four-wheeler and walking out to the stands. Like, I think the "it'll be fine" in your head ruins you for a lot of deer. It'll be fine.
It'll be all right.
And then you go out, it's like, well, no, it's not fine because big deer don't mess with it. It'll
They
be
don't
fine.
play that.
Hey,
game.
I've been on.
There's certain details that you can, in my opinion, not worry about. Like I get caught up in details like too far.
Okay.
And
like-
then there's details you can let go. And you're really
I mean,
damn
I've been
good
in
at,
enough
like,
bu-
okay, this we need to worry about, that we don't.
Like, what would
Right.
be
You know?
one of your worries? I mean, both of you guys, that you maybe take it too far and you might not need to when it comes to precautions, I guess.
like
Legit-
noise.
No,
Like
it's-
I'm real like shh. It's like you're awesome. Man.
I'm a movement
This guy,
man. Like,
this guy, I love working
can
with
see that.
Chancy's audio when he's in the battle, because this guy he'll talk loud, so audio is easy when I'm editing video.
Right.
I'm like, this guy, I need to start talking louder, like. And I'm like, I ain't never busted a damn deer talking in my life. I'm too quiet.
You think a deer knows what
It's
a
a
human
pain
sounds
in
like?
the ass
Nobody's ever
to
talked
make
to a
that
deer
sound
out
good.
there except for a tame one in a pen. I mean, we ain't, you know what I mean?
Did you remember a few years ago in the video?
Chancy's out there having a conversation with
I
this
get
deer.
that.
Well, you need to.
That's a male. I heard him talk.
Yeah.
No,
That's
I've
a
had-
herd bull,
Well,
right?
you gotta be quiet.
Fawns. I've had
It's a herd
fawns
bowl over there.
and does and stuff
Yeah.
come up. They bust you. You start like, ooh, doo doo. You start like non-aggressive type sounds. They're like, what the hell? And you, ooh, boo. We did that in that video. Booshy, booshy. She started talking. I think Shay started doing that. Shay started talking.
Talking
ooshy,
pig
booshy.
Latin over here.
And they are like, they get all comfortable. It's like, it's non-aggressive.
You
I've
gotta,
never
you gotta
heard
serenade
that.
them a little
Dude,
bit.
it's weird. It's
You gotta
it's like
serenade 'em a
totally
little
threw me
bit.
for a loop. He started talking all like,
And then Shane's over here like,
non-aggressive.
hey, I'm in your dance floor right now, bud.
Well, I mean, I like to talk to him. I mean,
meanwhile,
you know,
Chancy's
you get in
back
that
there
spot,
putting
you're like,
the
yeah,
slip
this is
on
going
the
on.
dance
Oh, yeah,
floor.
you get
I've
up
been
in
on
there,
this
you
dance floor.
start talking to him. I get a little vocal, but I don't know. I'm not trying to, but I like this. I like to tease him in there. You know, talk to him in my
This
mind.
guy's the most
But I've been on enough
Hey.
big buck pumped in my life. I've been screwed by so many big bucks. You
But
know,
you've
I mean,
killed
I
a ton,
get
too.
sick of stupid shit happening to me.
Yeah.
And I almost overthink it. I just feel like things are happening because it's just me, but that's just part of life, and that's just
Whitetail hunting.
But I'm like, oh my,
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my God, that
You've
guy,
seen so many
like,
things.
here comes a vehicle route, and I'm wanting to kill a big buck.
Oh,
You know,
dude.
like, what's the odds of this? Shit? Like, I'm
Right.
sick of it. Okay,
Right.
Where's the cameras at? Who's punking me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, right.
Where's that Ashton Kutcher
it
at?
ain't